This is another classic rewind. I think it was Brian over at Old School Modeling, mentioned something about this Batmobile he saw in the background. This one I built about 10 or 15 years ago. I built it a long time ago, back when you couldn't get a Batmobile in 1/25th scale in plastic. The only thing you could find at that time was the Aurora 1/32nd Batmobile, and those were going for a lot of money back then. Lunar Models came out with a resin kit, but it was like a curb kit, and I thought the body wasn't that great to begin with in that kit, and that was at that time the Lunar Batmobile was $200-300, and I thought it wasn't worth it. So anyway, I was just cruising through eBay one day, and I ran across the Jimmy Flintstone resin body, and when I saw it, it's like, man, I gotta have that. So I think I only paid, I only wanted $20-25 for the resin body. And then when I got it, I was real happy with it because it was a beautiful cast. It was flawless. There wasn't any issues with the body whatsoever. I think it was the best resin body I ever bought. But once I got the body, I had to come up with a frame, motor, suspension, because all I got was the body. So it took me about 4 kits to build this. The first kit I had to buy was obviously the Revell Lincoln Futura kit for the interior and the canopies. And then I used the Fireball 500 kit for the radar wheels and some of the interior parts. I used a cop-out kit for the chutes in the back here. And then the engine, frame, suspension is the Monogram Super B kit. Let me take the hood off because I'll probably knock it off when I flip it over. So that's all the Monogram Super B kit underneath. I cut it right here, right behind the floor pan is where I cut it, and brought it in about 1/16 of an inch if I remember right. It's been so long. I didn't have to bring it in that much. And then of course I cut the frame up here to fit the bumper and back here to fit the rear bumper. So I wanted it, like most of my stuff, I wanted this to where if a person looked at it they couldn't tell it was all pieced together, that it would look like a kit. So I think it came out pretty good. I was real happy with it. Yeah, okay, sorry about that guys, battery went dead in my camera. Where was I? Yeah, so the suspension and all that underneath is a Super B. In the engine compartment, that's all Super B too. And I think a 71 satellite kit. I used some of the inside the engine bay for this one. Like the hood latch there in the front is actually on the 71 satellite, the Monogram kit. The radiator wall is the satellite, but everything else is a Super B. So that's that. It has a 440 in it. The reason why I used a 440 because when I was building this, at the time I read in an article somewhere that the number 4 Batmobile, the one always used for drag racing, at one time briefly had a 440 in it, and then they took it out, I think, and put a 460 in it. But that's why I went with a 440 in there. So yeah, that's all of the satellite Super B Monogram kit under the in the engine compartment underneath the body. Back here, the jet nozzle is actually 2 air cleaners. The one with the rings on it is the ribbing on it is actually an Edelbrock air cleaner. This one back here is a Mopar Superstock air cleaner. They're just drilled all the way through and glued together to look like the nozzle that was on the back of the car. The screens in the front and back is just a craft screen used for and train layouts for plaster work. The wheels are the Fireball 500 kit, the radar wheels, and the bat emblems are cardstock actually. Aluminum tubings for the rocket launchers. Antenna I made myself, that's just wire and some spruce shaped up. The center bar, the beacon, and I think the bat phone inside, that was actually a kit somebody was selling at the time on eBay for this Jimmy Flintstone kit. I think the bar might have came with the body. I don't remember for sure. So either I got that when I got the beacon and the phone and stuff, or it came with the Jimmy Flintstone body, that center bar. I don't remember. But the interior is not exactly accurate. You know, I didn't hollow out the dashboard. I just left it the stock Futura dashboard, which is in a closed position. But yeah, I mean, everything else came out pretty good. So that's the interior. All the little bat labels, you know, everything, you know how Batman had everything labeled, right? That's actually pictures I took off the real Batmobile and made my own labels, so I had the same font, color, and everything for the all the labels on the dashboard and for the bat turn lever and stuff. That's all off the real car. Door handles are off the real car. It's actually cardstock, but the found a picture, real close-up picture of the door handles, so I just printed them out on cardstock and used them for the door handles, since they were thought it was quicker just to make them out of cardstock than trying to make them out of plastic. So we got a little bit of cardstock on here, not a whole lot, just the bat spinners and the door handles are cardstock. So that's pretty cool. Well, I did make some mats, some floor mats with the band emblem on them. I don't know if they can see them or not, but probably not. But anyway, there you can kind of see it. So anyway, so I think that's about it. The car, the body, the paint is enamel. Tell you how long ago it was. I was using enamel. All the pinstriping has been done by hand. That's all paint. That's done with enamel. So that was back when I could see and back when I had a steady hand. So I couldn't do that today. There's no way could I do this car today. I'd have to use decals for the pinstriping now. I couldn't freehand that anymore. But I think it's Testors red enamel. I think I used all Testors on this. So that's the Batmobile. Jimmy Flintstone body and everything else I came up with myself, and it's one of my favorite. It's actually one of my favorite builds. I had a lot of fun building this, trying to get it all done up. And this, as I said, was a time when you couldn't get the Batmobile. So when I was done with it, I was really proud that I had something I really wanted and didn't have to pay nowhere near the amount of money that I would have had to if I would have got a kit from somebody. So. Alright guys, this has gone on long enough. There is another classic rewind, so I hope you enjoy it, and until the next video, take care and stay well.